Okay, so RoboCop 3 is one of those movies that I loved as a kid. You know, like every kid loves a really bad movie. And they realize it as they get older that it's a piece of shit. But the thing with RoboCop 3 is I loved it when I was a kid because I could not watch the original RoboCop when I was really small. It was fucking terrifying. There's a lot of movies I couldn't. Even the fucking Child's Play movies with Chucky, he scared the shit out of me. I was a pussy when I was a kid. I don't know how horror movies became like my favorite genre, but whatever. Yeah. As I got older, I was able to watch RoboCop no problem. Having watched all those horror movies, like gory shit, like it's a masterpiece. It's a total masterpiece. RoboCop 1 might be in the top 10 greatest films ever made. It possibly could be. And then RoboCop 2, fantastic film. Doesn't live up to the original. That's an impossible task, but really, really fucking good sequel. Just like Predator 2, I bring up Predator 2 a lot. I feel similar feelings towards RoboCop 2. Now we get to RoboCop 3. Bit more complex of a situation. Um, how do I explain this? I went through a phase where I realized that RoboCop 3 was absolute fucking garbage. But then I went through a phase where I realized it still had good parts that I appreciated. Like like maybe it was nostalgia, you know, but those those positive feelies came back during certain parts. It's one of those old fucking terrible movies that I just keep going back to, and I actually understand this film more than the first two films because I've watched it so many times. Because it's a fucking total anomaly to me. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, like I've watched the first RoboCop countless times at this point, and RoboCop 2, probably not as much as the first one, but I've watched it a lot. But the third one, like, I'm obsessed with it for some weird reason. Because I know it's a bad movie, but there's tiny little fucking great, legit great RoboCop moments in it. You know, and I imagine in my head, like, what if Peter Weller was in the suit during this moment? Or what if Nancy Allen actually gave a fuck and tried to act in the movie? But, you know, tons of things. Like, RoboCop 3 is one of those movies where it's like you yourself, without filmmaking experience, can in your head imagine a better film. And there's not a lot of movies that you can do that with, but this is like, I think they should show RoboCop 3 in film schools, you know, like is a way to deconstruct a bad movie, recreate it into something good. And I think RoboCop 3 is one of the easiest examples that I know of because there's a lot of fucking moments in this movie that are great. First off, they brought back Basil Poledouris' score, which is a huge biggie. That makes the movie watchable. First off, we'll go down the list. We'll say, we'll start with the two obvious things that would make the movie infinitely better, possibly on par with RoboCop 2. Um, Peter Weller returning as RoboCop. This guy ain't terrible. He's from that Stephen King movie, Thinner. He's not terrible, but he's not Peter Weller, Nobody's ever going to be Peter Weller. Number one, Peter Weller returning. Instantly make the movie way better. Number two, just make it rated R. Way more blood squibs, some gore sequences, body horror. Fuck yeah, dude. Instantly better. And the ninja cyborgs, I believe, could have been explained better. Like the way we got the two major things that the movie needed out of the way. This is gonna be way too long. I'm just gonna narrow it down at this point. Ninja cyborgs, they need to be more specific on how they operate. Because they clearly are not as powerful as RoboCop, and they do stupid things. There's the list is unending about how many things this movie gets wrong, but it has great scenes. It has the chase scene where RoboCop is in the pink pimp mobile, and fucking McDaggett starts shooting on him, and RoboCop just busts his fucking gun and fist through the fucking windshield, which is this scene right here. Fuck yeah! Fuck yeah! That's a great RoboCop moment right there. And there's multiple great RoboCop moments in this movie. It's just they didn't have the fucking budget. They didn't have um the original actor and director. Maybe they didn't need the original director because RoboCop 2 turned out great. And yeah, I don't know how I feel about the ninja robots. Like that's like a nerd fantasy, like oh my god, what if RoboCop went up against a bunch of robot ninjas? Wouldn't that be cool? And it turns out to be not so cool, but yeah, this is a great action sequence. The very opening of the film, the very opening chase sequence is great, where he literally drives off of the top of a parking lot to a fucking skyscraper and just lands to save Lois. And shoots holes through the top of the car, the police car, and he busts out with his fucking big ass fucking cannon that you didn't have in the other movies. Badass moment. Also, I like the jetpack scene and concept. I like the whole jetpack thing because it makes sense in a way that OCP, if they're working with RoboCop, they would make him more mobile. They would want him to be more mobile and use him as a weapon. So it would make sense that he would have a jetpack designed for him. And that scene was cool in spite of the special effects being terrible. Still, I get warm fuzzies from that scene, man. And like I said, Basil Poledouris' score, that's the best thing the movie could have possibly done, was bring that back. So they did that. But yeah, I don't know what else to say. Like I can deconstruct the whole movie for like an hour and talk about, I would change this, I would change that, I would change that, I would change that. But I feel like there's a good movie in there. And I feel like if I was allowed to rewrite the script, I would literally keep all the fucking material in the original RoboCop 3, but I would alter it in certain ways. And I think I could make a film that's a masterpiece. So, not a masterpiece, I'm exaggerating. I think I could come up with something that's on par with RoboCop 2. Pretty close. That's my opinion.